Hey, what's up? I'm Troubleshoot. In this quick video, I'll be showing you how to complete Call of Duty Zombies Countermeasures, which is the Act 4 mission right over here. This is super simple. We need to investigate the anomaly and escape the rift. This sounds very simple, but it's going to be very difficult. The area that we're going into requires us to enter the Tier 3 area, go through a rift, which will take 10 or so seconds, and inside of the new area that we get taken to, we'll be doing a boss fight against Tier 2 zombies pretty much everywhere. So for that reason, I'd recommend taking a powerful weapon. I'll be taking this, and a good secondary like, say, an RGL that we can pack-a-punch. That is, of course, if you can afford it. Otherwise, you can take with you your usual doodads, but what you should do is when you get in-game, you need to look for sentry guns, in which case we'll be buying 2 of them. I don't think I have any kits. Oh, I do. Sweet. I'll be taking this in, and from my acquisition stash, I'll also be using probably a couple of rewards here if I can find something. No, schematic crafting. We'll go ahead and craft Flawless Ethereum if you have this unlocked. I don't, so I'm not able to upgrade weapons to Tier 3 straight away, but I can get them to Tier 1 at least, which saves us 5 grand, so we only need to find 25 grand in-game. After crafting this and placing it in our inventory, I'll also grab a legendary upgrade to upgrade our weapon for much more damage, and of course, on top of this, you'll want to craft some perks such as Death Perception, which will help us with one of the little annoying side quests inside of the new area, as well as Deadshot Daiquiri for extra damage, Quick Revive, which decreases the health regen delay, which will help us quite a bit, Speed Cola for reloads, and finally Stamina Up, which should help us get away from the Tier 2 zombies and Tier 3 zombies in the Tier 3 area. If you can craft anything extra and take them with you, it's probably a good idea to do so. I don't have the rest of these unlocked, and I could craft some classified things or wonder weapons, but I think I'm fine going in with everything we have here. Everything so far will take about 3 hours to reset, plus 24 for the legendary tool. With this, we can upgrade our primary to legendary and Pack-a-Punch Tier 1. We just need to farm enough to get Tier 2 and Tier 3 in-game, which is 25k. If you have anything else that you want to take with you, now's the best time to choose it and take it with. I'll be taking, say, Shatter Blast, just because, and I think that's probably it. Yeah, with everything set, we'll go ahead and search for a game, and hopefully we don't end up crashing or getting kicked for some reason. Alright, so dropping into a game. Unfortunately, it's put me in a US server instead of UK or even South African, so we should hopefully be able to do this. It's just going to be a little bit annoying. We'll go ahead and activate pretty much everything as such. There we go. Everything's activated, and now we should be pretty much charged up and ready to go. So essentially, what you need to do is level up your gun to Pack-a-Punch Tier 3 and get your way to this Countermeasures marker in the Tier 3 zone. For this, you'll need to complete a couple of quests, so I'll be doing probably the bounty quest, maybe here, etc. Anyways, just farm up money however you usually do until we get to about 25k, so that's enough for Pack-a-Punch 2, which is 10k, and 15k for Tier 3. We should have enough to get Tier 2 Pack-a-Punch, which should make life a little bit easier. Tier 2 Pack-a-Punch. Sweet. Now we just need another 12k and we've got Tier 3. Now that we have 15k, we can make our way to the Tier 3 zone and Pack-a-Punch our gun to Tier 3, then finally enter the Countermeasures quest. I've got 3 self-revives, which is good. I suppose we can use these other things to level up a rocket launcher, just for a bit of extra help. For now though, we'll mark the Tier 3 Pack-a-Punch and head straight towards it. So, bam, Tier 3. Now we're pretty much ready to enter. Alright, heading straight towards where we need to go. Let's hop out and activate the rift. Then we'll need to open the map, hit 3 to confirm, and it starts a 10-second countdown. There we go. Alright, now things get a little bit more tough. You'll be put on a local server, so probably very little ping, which is great, as I'm a South African and playing on 180 ping is terrible. Now I'm finally on 3 to 20, which is infinitely better, and it's going to make this much more, not enjoyable, but survivable. And there we go. Okay, so in this area, there's a couple of things that we need to do. However, the first thing I'd recommend you do is when you spawn in, instead of going and following the main quest, which should be marked somewhere very soon, we'll head out the back of this and head towards E4 over here. We'll head towards the top backside of it, where we'll find an obelisk and we can do our first little side quest slash bit of progression for the future that should make life a lot easier. Instead of doing this later when there's tons of zombies, we can instead do it now when there's just a handful, which should help fast track us, especially if you're fighting against half an hour to do this mission. Solo, this is going to help quite a bit. Okay, so heading to the top center-ish of E4, you'll find in this area this big structure, and right in front of it, this obelisk. All we need to do is activate it, so clear out the zombies around it, sprint up to it, and hold interact until we've activated it. And now, much like previous missions, you'll just want to kill a bunch of zombies in this little local area here. This is usually relatively quick to do, only a handful of them are needed. Oh, and I think we need headshots on these if I'm not mistaken. There we go, getting a whole bunch of headshot kills around this, probably 7 or 8 or so. We can activate it and get a gift from it. In this case, it's just a target. I'm pretty sure you'll need this later on, but for now at least, we've got this one item, and we'll head back south towards this area here, where you'll find a giant ship. So you can already see it, we stepped around the back of it to get to where we are now, but what we want to do is get on top of it, where we can get to the second item and obelisk. So if we climb to the top of this thing and in, our teammate won't be able to follow us, but you'll see that in the center here is the next obelisk, and at this one, when we interact with it, we'll need to get a bunch of melee kills, which is made very easy by the insta-kill that should drop right below our feet here. So we'll pick this up, wait for a couple of zombies, and get some melee kills. Super simple. You only need about 7 or 8 of these. 5, 6, 7, and 8 should be it. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. From this, you get another item, tactical MMA gloves in this case. From this, you can head down from the ship and continue with the quest as usual. So we'll basically head towards this marked area over there. This ship is a little bit glitchy to get around, so you'll probably want to find a low enough area to vault onto to get off of the thing. So this building over here. What we need to do is when we get to this building, we need to enter it on the bottom floor and head up to the upstairs bit. So in here, we'll head up, clear out any zombies on our way up, till we eventually reach the top where you'll find a bunch of teammates. What we'll do is grab anything you want here and help out the window over here. When you do so, you'll find an ACV below you. This is pretty much a protect and escort mission, except this thing has infinite HP. You just need to stay nearby it for it to continue moving. This thing is going to move for the next 3 or 4 minutes, so you can practically just sit on top of it and enjoy the mostly free ride. You'll take very little damage while you're on this, except from certain zombies. Oh, and also for some reason, the world likes to despawn a bunch of walls and things like that. That's probably just a glitch for me, knowing my luck, but this is going to make life a little bit easier in some cases and a little bit more annoying in others. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So we're going to stop pretty much somewhere around here, and we'll need to run into this little playground area to my right here in just a moment. There we go. So we've stopped. What you'll need to do now is run towards this thing over here, and as soon as you touch it, you'll be electrocuted, so you will be shocked. Bam, there we go. And you'll pretty much start firing in the direction of hopefully this big old monster that spawns here. Once you get rid of them, you'll be shocked one more time. And now we can head back to the ACV. The area should be cleaned up, so we can plate up and continue. If you're looking to collect plates, it's a good idea to get a ton of them now, as they don't seem to spawn as much later on when we're doing the final boss battle. But always having plates is a really good idea. Now you'll get to this little bowl over here. It'll stop and think for a short minute, and eventually it'll continue after swallowing it up. So just hang around for now. Right, so now we're approaching a mole, and it'll slowly turn into this area. Essentially, we'll be clearing out one big spore nest, finding, I think, 10 or so little balls setting up on the walls. Unfortunately, these are randomly placed, so the places that I show you here are probably going to be different to the ones that you need, but for the most part, they spawn usually in the same general areas. Especially if you're getting this weird glitch where half the planet doesn't load in, it's going to help you quite a bit. And on top of this, if you have the perk that allows you to highlight things through walls, it's going to help you a ton in this area, as you'll see some of these things marked, such as this one here, and one more upstairs over there. These things spawn practically everywhere, so you'll just need to travel around, getting rid of them whenever you see them, hopefully through the walls with the perk. Having a bunch of them close together like that is going to save us quite a bit of time, hopefully. I don't think they spawn in these back rooms and things like that, but it's probably worthwhile checking anyways. Yeah, so we've cleared 5 out of 15 so far, and don't worry about a gas mask, you will usually find some more just lying around the mall if you explore the central area here. I think there's one more downstairs. Yep, and usually on these center shop/console areas, you'll find a bunch of these gas masks, which I'll need now. Is there one up here? Should be. Doesn't seem like it. Is there one over here? Usually. I guess not now. Oh well. I guess we'll need to survive with just plates then. Never mind. There we go. There's a gas mask. Huge. Alright. Looking at these staircases, I don't think there's anything more. I think the last ones will be somewhere in this general area. There's one there. Check down this direction. Seeing through the walls because of the weird glitch. Yeah, that's going to help quite a bit. There's one up there. There's one up here. one over there. I don't think there's one downstairs. And we'll head across to the other side of the mall, which should be south, checking what should be the last wing. And yeah, there's just a couple more down here. And another gas mask. So it seems like we're looking for just one more, which is super annoying. But we should hopefully find it sometime soon. Self-revive, very useful. Let's check around upstairs. We're looking for literally just one more. I think that's it. Bam, there we go. All right, so at this point, it'll tell you to return back to the ACV, which should be around the front over here. But what we're going to do instead is head down here to the center left of I-8. This is a seriously foggy area, so it'll be incredibly difficult to see, but we'll be doing another one in there. Essentially, there'll be another obelisk, and on it, when we activate it, there'll be 4 different sides with 4 different mods for our weapon that we can put on. What we need to do is look at the flames and the obelisk itself to see what one we should be picking up. There'll be flames, there'll be electricity, a cold flame for the freeze blast, and the last one should probably be brain rot, or at least that's the order that it was in last time. So running out here, clearing out the area, here we go. Here's the next obelisk, we'll activate it, and as you can see, the first one should be flame, so we'll get the napalm blast, which drops as soon as you activate it, and we'll start getting rid of some zombies as such within the area. So you can see it's like an orangey type flame. This just means it's the napalm blast. Now it's gone to more of a cold color, which I'm pretty sure should be the cryo freeze one. So for this, we'll need to head back in, find it. I think it's on this side that I'm on now. Clear out some of these zombies first. That really didn't help. See if we can activate it. We got it. Now we'll need to get a couple more kills until eventually it switches across to the next flavor, which should be electricity, as you can see here. So I think the order is probably the same for you. This one is called Dead Wire. So we'll activate the Dead Wire one, which should drop it. We'll pick it up, and now that it's equipped, we just need to get a bunch more kills. Insta-kill is going to help us quite a bit, especially dealing with big, annoying manglers. There we go. Finally, it'll change to Brain Rot, which is this green kind of smoky flame, and we'll get our last few kills like this, still within the same area here. It's quite a big circle. You don't actually need zombies to brain rot, you just need to get kills. And there we go. We finally finished this one as well. We'll grab this and place it in our inventory. Sweet. Now, at this point, you better get yourself ready as we're heading towards what is essentially the final boss battle. So grab whatever can help you and head back to the marked location. If you happen to mess up the order and equip the wrong mod, you can simply leave the area, so travel pretty much all the way up here, turn around and go back, and the thing should be reset. It's not too much of a hassle if you happen to mess it up. Also, you'll want to complete pretty much everything to where we are now in about the first 15 minutes or so, or have 15 minutes left, as what we have to do still is going to take a little bit of time, especially if you haven't got any sentries with you. If you've got 1, if not 2, then this is going to save you a ton of time, especially on the final boss battle. So approaching the ACV one more time. Once again, we'll just need to hop onto it and go on our last little ride. This one's going to be a bit more hectic as there'll be many more zombies in the areas. So we've got a Pristine Mirror, a Perforated Target, and MMA Gloves. And those are the 3 obelisks that we've completed. Now we're just on the way to the final boss battle. All right, turning into here, this is the final stretch and where we'll also make our final stand against the final boss, which is essentially just an electrified mangler. When you do a bunch of damage to them, or at least once in a while, they'll give you a shock, causing you to mag dump, which is incredibly annoying as they can do quite a bit of damage. Also, you'll want to refill your ammo if you can by killing a bunch of zombies and picking up the ammo that they drop. You'll also definitely want to stock up on shields in this location. Alright, so for the final stand, head up here to the main stage area and you'll be activating the PND here. Also, it would be great if these soldiers did anything more than stormtrooper work. So now you'll just need to hold out this area as a bunch of zombies come towards you, and essentially when this ends, the final boss will spawn in. So near the very end of this, if not just afterwards, we'll want to place our 2 sentry guns somewhere around in this area here. It isn't exactly required, but it is going to make life very much simpler. Also, do get rid of any disciples, manglers, or anything like that that spawn in, as they are going to be very annoying to deal with. We're at 54%, 75, 99, and 100%. Now, near the central area here, you'll see the final boss spawns in. All we need to do is prepare ourselves and get ready to deal with them. So, here we go. The portal opens, and there we go, the final boss spawns in. This is the one that you'll need to break and get rid of, and of course once in a while they'll shock you and cause a ton of damage. I'll go ahead and place down my sentry turrets, as I forgot to do that earlier. It'll be very difficult while you're being shocked, of course. Brilliant. Cool. Sentry placed. That should help us take it down much quicker. If you happen to have 2 sentries, you'll probably be able to do this boss fight in roughly 2 minutes. Otherwise, it is going to take you a couple more. The main annoyance is just being shocked here. Also, it seems like if you stay just far enough away, you should be safe from the shock too, so keeping your distance is probably the best idea here. Yeah, most definitely. Cool, we've got it down to about 30-ish% HP. This is definitely going better than the last time I attempted it. Probably 10% left. And there we go. Sweet, we finally got rid of this boss. This took 2 solid attempts, and the last time I died here using probably all of my self-revives. Alright, so at this point there are a couple more things that we can do on this map, but if you're just trying to complete the main mission, you can grab your fancy items here, as I will be. So there we go. And we'll be leaving the map with all of these things equipped. Sweet. So hop into this portal over here to extract, and with that, you should now be done with the countermeasures. And there we go. That's pretty much it. So tomorrow, when the next season or whatever is releasing, hopefully it's not a absolute nothing burger like the previous update that promised a whole bunch of zombies content. So if there are more quests and things like that to do, Act 4 or 5 or whatever it is, then you can make sure to subscribe here and check back tomorrow and the next week or so to find out how to do all of those quests and things as well. But hopefully, if you're going to be doing this mission now, I wish you luck. Thank you for watching. My name's been Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao.